Konami releases anything that mentions card advantage. Death Echo be like. Is this Synchron support? And with that being said, hello fellow clear mind enjoyer. Today, I'm presenting to you arguably the best Synchron build available on Master Duel for Synchrons. I successfully navigated through the Diamond rank with approximately a 75% win rate using this decklist. Konami has generously provided additional support in the form of Superheavy Samurais. This engine grants us a 1-card speeder and a 1.5-card protected speeder. This means either Superheavy Samurai Motorbike or Superheavy Samurai Prodigy Wakaushi can facilitate our plays. The drawback of incorporating this engine is the inability to rely on staple hand traps like impermanence and generic searchers like tuning. This limitation arises because the crucial cards have restrictions that disallow spells and traps in the graveyard. However, this isn't a significant issue for us as we can easily play around it. Additionally, you can use your spells again after Wakaushi has successfully resolved because the search of Big Benkei doesn't have this restriction. Nonetheless, we strive to keep our spell count to a minimum. Let me explain why we are playing the spells we have included, and then I will discuss the monster cards. Foolish Burial essentially acts as an extra copy of Enchantress, but it can also be converted into a level 1 token with Praying Mantis. Additionally, it occasionally comes in handy to mill Stardust or Jet Synchron. Stardust Illumination is essential to maintain a good number of non-tuner bodies with the help of Trail, and it banishes itself from the graveyard so it stays clean for the Superheavy Samurai effect condition. Overtake poses a bit of a problem, but Emergency Teleport for Jet Synchron is simply too good to ignore. Rites of Aramesir provides us with a plethora of resources. By now, you should be familiar with it since I include it in practically every Synchron version I play. This time, we're incorporating, On Your Mark, Ready, Set, Duel. This card is essentially a less powerful version of tuning, and I've only resolved the Shard of Greed effect once. However, it synergizes well with Superheavy Samurais since it doesn't go to the graveyard after the search. Called by the Grave and Crossout Designator are included specifically for dealing with Max, C, Droll and Lock Bird, and Ash Blossom. For the monster section of the deck, the Synchron core remains consistent with 2 Jet Synchron, 1 Assault Synchron, 1 Junk Synchron, and 2 Stardust Synchron. While it's possible to play without Junk Synchron, its exclusion slightly lowers the deck's ceiling, which I personally dislike. Now, before delving into the Superheavy engine, let's discuss the hand traps. Effect Veiler serves as a target negate similar to Impermanence, but it can be vulnerable to Called by the Grave, making it considered a bit inferior. Droll and Lock Bird stands out as one of the most potent hand traps in the current meta, so I recommend including it in every deck. Max, C, continues to be a powerful card. Gamma, while formidable, does have the drawback of requiring a soft garnet, yet it has game-winning potential. Ash Blossom is primarily included to counter Max, C, and Branded Fusion. Now, let's focus on the new stars of the deck, the Superheavy Samurais. The Superheavy Samurai Motorbike, a level 2 tuner monster, can be discarded to search for any Superheavy Samurai monster. Additionally, it has the capability to increase the level of a machine monster by 2, which proves useful in certain situations. Its primary use is to search Wakaushi, the main playmaker of the deck. Wakaushi, a pivotal pendulum card, boasts 2 impactful effects. The first pendulum effect allows us to scale a Superheavy Samurai monster from the deck and then special summon Wakaushi if there are no spells and traps in our graveyard. We typically scale Superheavy Samurai Monk Big Benkei with this effect. Big Benkei's key function is to search for a Superheavy Samurai Soul monster, and in most cases, it will be Superheavy Samurai Soul Piercer. Soul Piercer, when sent from field to the graveyard, searches a Superheavy Samurai monster, with the choice usually being between Motorbike, Scales, or Soulgaia. If we haven't used Motorbike's effect during the turn, we opt for Motorbike, otherwise we go for Scales. The order of operations here is crucial, and its significance will become apparent later. Superheavy Samurai Scales, when summoned, can bring back a Superheavy Samurai monster from the grave. It can also special summon itself when we control no monsters and the opponent controls 2 or more. Soulgaia can equip itself to a Superheavy Samurai monster, and if there are no spells or traps in the graveyard, it can special summon itself from the spell and trap zone. The extra deck largely mirrors the ones I've shared in previous Synchron deck lists, with the exception of Diabolantis the Menacing Mantis. Its primary role involves milling Praying Mantis into the graveyard. The token generated by Praying Mantis effect is then transformed into a tuner through Diabolantis's second effect. The second addition is Virtual World Kyubi, Shenshin. I am currently experimenting with this card, and it appears promising. Shenshin acts as a floodgate, banishing every card leaving the field. This proves effective against common meta decks such as Superheavy Samurais and Manadium. Even Branded struggles when playing under its influence. Shenshin's recursion effect frequently comes into play, and its ability to revive itself makes it resilient, particularly in extended grind games. Now, for a speed run through the other extra deck cards. Marcher. A valuable extender. Herald. Offers protection for speeder, with an Omni negate and helps us to play around Droplet with its floodgate effect. Hyper Librarian. Previously considered broken but has diminished in value. Jet Warrior. A solid extender, particularly effective when going second and synergizing well with Trail's second effect to summon a level 1 token. Junk Speeder. A custom card. Yazzie. Effective going second and a good extender under Droll. Stardust Dragon. The O.G. For unaffected speeder, Omega. Enables a free hand loop for 2-part 1. Crystal Wing. Functions as a monster negate and an out to towers. Ass Dragon. Good extender and gives unaffected speeder. Barone. A broken card. Dissipator. Contributes to a hand loop for 2-part 2 and offers monster negate or destruction. With the overview done, let's delve into the combo section of the video, where I'll explain the intricacies of the combos. In the initial steps of our first turn combo, we start by discarding Bike to search for Wakaushi. Upon scaling Wakaushi, we activate its effect, which scales Big Benkei from the deck and special summons Wakaushi. With Wakaushi on the field, Big Benkei's condition for the search is met, allowing us to add Soulpiercer to our hand. The subsequent normal summon of Soulpiercer sets the stage for the Synchro summon of Diabolantis. On this summon, Diabolantis mills Praying Mantis, and Soulpiercer searches for scales, and as Chain Link 3 Wakaushi's effect scales itself back, providing protection against Ash Blossom. A Pendulum summon follows, with Scales summoning Soulpiercer from the graveyard. Then we activate Praying Mantis's effect to generate a level 1 token, and Diabolantis's second effect turns it into a tuner. This sets the stage for the Synchro summon of Excel Synchron using Scales and the token. Then we are milling Jet Synchron to adjust Excel Synchron's level to 4. The subsequent Synchro summon of Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon triggers Soulpiercer's effect once again, placing it on Chain Link 1. Meanwhile, Ass Dragon takes Chain Link 2, serving to block Ash Blossom. Ass Dragon summons Motorbike, and Soulpiercer searches for Soulgaia. In the final steps, we activate Soulgaia's effect in hand to equip it to Motorbike, followed by a special summon from the spell and trap zone. After that we will trigger Jet Synchron in the graveyard to special summon itself. We could go for an unaffected speeder here by activating the effect of Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon, but it's mostly not important and I usually don't do it to save resources. From this point on you can do whatever you like with your speeder. I show you my line I usually go for when uninterrupted. We end on a hand loop for 2, 1 Omni negate, 2 monster negates, and a decent floodgate with almost no commitment. The next combo is done with the adventure part of the deck. I will just show you the combo until speeder, because I showcased the combo line in my other videos quite often. This deck offers a lot more speeder combos, but these are the main 2-1 and basically everything else builds on it. My replays are showcasing possible going second plays, how to play under max C and the before mentioned different speeder lines. And without further ado, enjoy the replays. Thank you for watching. I would appreciate some feedback and I would be quite happy if you like and subscribe.